Hello everyone, my name is Chris, and in today's video I would like to speak about the current state of the tank role in Overwatch 2. We will go over some small topics and I would like to point them out first and then give my personal opinion. I feel like one of the most fundamental problems we have in Overwatch 2 right now is the fact that you just don't have the sixth player, you just don't have the second tank. And I feel like that one thing breeds so many problems and difficulties when it comes to playing certain characters. So before we had a main tank and an off tank. You had a dude that would be the shield for their team, you had a dude that would protect, that would take space aggressively, and more of a support character that goes on the flank and tries to help out. Well, in reality right now, you are not only expected to lead your team, call shots, call out enemy cooldowns, take care of your team ultimates, keep track of enemy ultimates and their positioning, but also you need to do the job of two tanks because maps haven't changed and the enemy crowd control abilities are so much worse than they were before. Before, you would play Reinhardt Zarya and every single time you try to pin someone, you know that Zarya is keeping at least one bubble for you to protect you. When you were playing Diva and Winston, for example, on maps with verticality before, you know that you can jump different targets and enemy tank will never likely be able to peel for both of them, right? Well, in reality now, everything is doomed and what seemed to be an innovation in a 5 versus 5 manner turned into a complete disaster. Another thing that bothers me when I play tank is the fact that you single-handedly is going to be the #1 priority for every single enemy cooldown in the game, and it can be a little tiring, you know. You're gonna get slapped, stunned, hindered, hacked, antied, discorded, and you're gonna get set on fire by the Ash Dynamite, and oh my god, this is very psychologically difficult to like endure. I feel like I am stressing a lot every single time I'm playing tank simply because of that one thing. Every single time you wanna show your personal skill, you just can't. You are expected to again take space and then endure. You are expected to enable your team rather than to be a solo carry. Unfortunately, in Overwatch 2, I feel like tanks are just DPS characters with a little bit more HP and some BS ability that allows you to stay alive for a little longer while you are suffering, whether that's the shield or the Sigma shift or whatever else that might be. And don't even get me started on dive tanks, they feel exceptionally terrible to play. But about that later. Another very bad aspect of that is that you are going to be the #1 priority for enemies to counterpick you. I swear to god, you are playing against 5 players on the enemy team and 5 of them have the strong burning desire to counterpick your character. Sometimes you are playing Doomfist and I swear to god, you have one good fight as Doomfist, so you show yourself as a player that can solo carry on a character, and I kid you not, they swap Orisa, Sombra, Cassidy, Ana and Zen, or Ana and Brig. Like, they were playing completely 5 different characters and they would swap that. Oh, right. And yeah, every single time you're playing Diva, they would go Zarya. Every single time you're playing good on Reinhardt, they would go Orisa. Why would you try to diff me on my own ground if you can completely break the rules? Why would we play chess by the standard rules when you can destroy my king by punching me into the face? This is exactly how it feels when I'm trying to play Reinhardt and they counter swap Orisa, and my team, instead of trying to capitalize on that, are just playing same characters with the same playstyle. Another thing that bothers me when I'm playing tank is I really hate playing tank in a solo queue environment. I absolutely hate it. There is not a single human being that I can like rely on. I have no idea if these players are willing to even play the game, or they are queuing because they are sad, because their girlfriend didn't text them back, because they have problems at their job or at university or at school, and they are just trying to use Overwatch as an emotional tampon to hide their existential crisis. They are not there to help me win the game. They are not there to make my life easier as a tank. No, it's completely opposite. I have to play in a 1 versus 9 environment every single time I solo queue. When I go for a duo queue, because, well, you cannot you cannot queue more than 2 after Grandmaster, you are doomed, because now the games are 10 times harder than they were when you were solo queuing, and not because everyone is so stupid and everything is so helpless, but the fact that there are so many smurfs with 50 hours and endorsement level 1 that just don't want to play in higher levels than their level. They just want to swag on some news because that's so much easier to do, right? And yeah, this is terrible. Another very bothersome thing is your own support backline. How many times I play a game as a brawl tank and my backline looks like Moira plus Mercy. Moira plus Mercy. You know, certain tanks have no time and place without the support synergy. I can't play Doomfist without Ana. There is not a single support that can, like, even remotely do what Ana does to me. There is not a single support that can help me on Winston as good as Ana would do. If I'm playing Junker Queen, it's very nice to play Kiriko with me. If I'm playing Sigma, I would expect to see Baptiste in my team. Well, in reality, you have a Lucio player and then a Mercy player, and they are not ready to swap. They are not ready to make your life easier on a tank, so you can actually unleash your full potential, and we are coming back to the same 1 versus 9 scenario. It is completely annoying to do so, and even if they swap Ana, it's just not, like, it's not up to the standard that you would expect a player to play, and because of that, you cannot go for risky moves that will drastically improve your impact in a game. You cannot like look for an off angle and ask your Ana to throw an anti on enemies so you can capitalize on that. You're a dive tank. None of that. They're just gonna use their nade on themselves, maybe. They're just gonna like throw it. Like they don't care. And it's a disaster. It's a disaster and a half, and there is nothing you can do about that. And then you are entering the vicious cycle of counter swapping, where not only you are forcing yourself to do so, but your own teammates are doing so. You're playing Reinhardt and you are doing it pretty successfully, and you feel like you can beat the enemy Orisa with Reinhardt, even because he is not cycling his abilities properly, maybe he is out of position, maybe your team just needs to swap Bash and Symmetra to make your life easier, but they are still playing Soldier Hanzo, and there is nothing you can do because of that, not because you are playing Reinhardt into Orisa, right? And then the dude who's playing Hanzo and never hits a single headshot says in the chat, "Reinhardt, what are you doing? Swap Zarya." Brother, I wanna punch my monitor every single time I hear stuff like this. And when you counter swap, he counter swaps back, and this is a back and forth, like mind game, back and forth duel of your big brains. You think this is a big brain duel, but in reality, it is a disaster and a half. You go Zarya, he goes Reinhardt. Perhaps you go Ramatra, he goes Junker Queen. You go Zarya, and he goes Reinhardt. And it's just a never-ending cycle. When I don't know, so painful to talk about. I just can't. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is the never-ending feeling of being completely helpless and hopeless no matter what I do. I'm talking like I am playing Junker Queen and I have 1.5 times more damage than my DPS. I am hitting every single shot, I am hitting every single axe, I am landing so many knives, I'm calling out things, I am pressing my shout in a proper manner when it needs to be pressed, just to watch my DPS die first at the start of every single fight, just to watch my support never playing in the right place so I don't have the correct line of sight to get healed, just to watch the enemy tank pressing W on 4 of my teammates and killing 2 of them without any problems. And when I'm playing tank, there is a never-ending feeling of no matter what I do, I sometimes just cannot do anything. When I'm playing DPS, I understand that I am the most detrimental piece to this game. Like, I can be the person that can win the game for me, I can be the person that can lose the game for me. On the tank, it's just a casino royale. It's just you are going for the slot machine and you're just pressing it over and over again, hoping that this time you will have less abominations on your team than the enemy team has. Let me know in the comments section what do you think about all of that. See you in the next one. Take care.